Shalom family, it's your man Elijah. Thank you for joining me in Unsectarian Wisdom, and as usual, I'm a healthy, wise, strong, protected, celestial being that is loved by the Most High Creator. Family, this video is a continuation of, I like to say, these last two videos I made. The first one called Connecting the Dots, and the second one called Ye Are Gods. And just me really kind of, shooting from the hip again. Just some things that was on my mind this AM as I woke up, Grand Rising by the way, that I want to get into. I want to touch a few different subjects. So just follow me. This is a riff session, I guess. And I got just a scene from a movie I want to show you quick. I'm not about to show scene after scene. I just got a scene, like 3 little scenes. They're probably about 3 minutes long. I want to show y'all to just kind of get into what I'm speaking about. But let's go ahead and hop in, family. Give me a second. Let me get it all set up for you.
It is time.
Alright, family. You remember, if you watched my Ye Are Gods video, right? Remember I told you that gods are really we're just useful to the Most High. We are used by the Most High to experience life. A god is just an avatar with the spirit of the Most High in it, right? That's what that seed represents. That seed represents a piece of the Most High, the spirit of the Most High taken from the Most High and put into an avatar body, which is what a god is. Remember, if you look at the movie Eternals, that's the movie showing. The Eternals are what to the people, to the NPCs on the planet. The people, the majority of people on the Eternals movie that were on the planet, they're NPCs. And the Eternals are gods among NPCs. Why? Because they have a soul from the Most High. I am a god, family. Though, like I told you, those of us who have souls are gods. And remember how the Eternals too, all of them each had a different power. Remember how I explained in the last video that tigers are gods, that some animals are God, reptilians are God, Anunnaki are God, Pleiadians are God, dwarves are God, angels are gods. Elves are gods. They're all gods. They just have different powers. But when you don't understand the meaning of a god, right, you will sit there and worship it because you don't realize yourself that you are a god. But gods just have different powers and different aspects. Some gods are moral and ethical, which means they're going to be honest and they follow the laws of the universe. And one of the laws of the universe is thou shalt not lie, which means when they come to other gods, regardless of how lacking in intelligence or unaware these gods are, these gods who are more wise than these younger gods are going to be honest to them and not enslave them and tell them to worship them, because they know that they are gods as well, because they know that they have the spark or the seed of life within them, which is represented in the Eternals as the spirit of the Most High within all of us, right? All right, let me go ahead and set up the next scene for you. Like I said, it's not going to be long. And also remember, in the beginning of the scene, you notice the pyramid ship, right? Remember, and once again, connect the dots. They talking about the ships, and I even read from the Emerald Tablets, right? The ships are in the shapes of pyramids. And then when I remember, we read the keys of Enoch, right? Remember, and we were talking about how the tops of the pyramids, right, the capstones, and the Merkaba ships actually have a capstone on the top and the bottom, which are to merge two different realities together, or two different worlds, or two different dimensions, in order for spirits to cause a portal for spirits to pass through from one dimension to another, right? And you saw how the ship is in the shape of what? A pyramid, right? Going through space. Like I said, a lot of truth is in these planets. Is in these. They put a lot of truth in these movies, family. And where do they get this from, right? They didn't just get it from nowhere, from the books, and then the books coming from being passed down orally, and then from orally from the spiritual realm. But anyway, let's go ahead and go to the next scene. I don't want to rush. I want to be able to explain this, but my internet's been having issues, and I want to try to get to certain parts first, just in case. But hold on, give me a second. I shouldn't have went there first. Hold on, give me a second, cause I'm trying to explain something to you, this truth, so you guys can get a deeper understanding. 56 minutes, all right. And I want to go back and explain them a little bit more, but I want to show y'all something real quick first. Okay, put this up again, right?
Cersei.
All right, family. Y'all saw what she was doing, right? Y'all saw how she was meditating before she went see I forgot his name, but the big red person, right? He's representation of the creator of all, of the Most High Creator. But like we spoke before, the Most High Creator, family, is everything. The Most High Creator is neither man nor woman, nor robot. The Most High Creator is everything in between, everything you can see and everything you cannot see. The Most High Creator is the ether itself. You know, as it says in the beginning, the spirit was hovering over the deep. The deep is the ether. The spirit is the wisdom, the mind of the Most High. Hold on. And you saw how in order for her to get to the Most High, right? What did she have to do? She had to meditate. She had to go what? Within. The kingdom of heaven is within. The true kingdom of heaven. All right. Now I got something else. So I want to show y'all that real quick. Hold on. Give me a second. All right. Now I'm going to set up this next one for y'all real quick.
Our universe is a constant exchange of energy, an infinite cycle of creation and destruction. Celestials use energy gathered from host planets to create suns, generating gravity, heat, and light for new galaxies to form.
Alright, okay. So we pretty much done there. So I hope y'all listen to what he said, family, right? That they use the energy from the creation of planets to create other planets or universes, right? I've said you are gods. You are all sons of the Most High. And in the other version, in the other King James, remember it said Ye are gods. You are all sons and daughters of the Most High. I'm talking to the ladies too, to my sisters too. So you're not left out, regardless of certain writings and how they are interpreted. But I want to take us back to this, right? To explain something. Remember, listen to what he said. He was explaining. Remember, what did he just say? He said that the planets are used, the energy from other planets are just used to create other planets, right? Their sources, their supplies, they are goods, family, right? Okay, so let's go back. Remember we talked about in the video of Ye Are Gods, and I explained that thing about, I want to go a little deeper on it. See, we want to find out where did the word God come from, so you understand what a God is. We're going into the etymology of the word God. Gu, good, Goth, Koda, Kuda, Huta, Kata, Gad, Gouda. As a matter of fact, before I go there, they say that actually the word God started with this word Medu-Neter, which has to do with what's it called? With Egypt, right? In the hieroglyphs on the wall. This is a word back in the day where, hold on, let me just read it. Medu-Neter means words of nature. Nature being all the infinite forms of existence. Its name is reflective of both its complexity, spiritual nature, and the reverence in which its speakers held it. It is the oldest known language that has a large body of written literature in Africa and the world. Medu-Neter was spoken and written more than 10,000 years ago and underwent many changes and developments during its long history. So, the foundation of the word Medu-Neter, as far as we can go back and truly understand, or that we're told, family, starts in Africa with Egypt. But from the videos I've shown you, from the readings we've done, we already know that everything didn't start in Egypt. And I've said this before. Remember, who is one of the patron gods, of Egypt? Thoth. And I read from y'all. Remember, if you watch my video connecting the dots, the one that you have to go to Rumble and listen to, but I put the URL address is in the video that I call Connecting the Dots, and it looks like it has some pillars underwater. It's the second video I made in these past few days, right, or this past week. I made it just before the video that I call Ye Are Gods. It's the video right before Ye Are Gods. There's a URL in that video to a video on Rumble called Connect the Dots. And remember, in there I read a book called Emerald Tablets. The Emerald Tablets family talks about the patron god of Egypt, which is Thoth. Thoth is credited with giving Egypt all the wisdom. But where does it say Thoth comes from? It says Thoth is from Atlantis family. So we always like to attribute Egypt to being the birthplace of all wisdom, is where all the knowledge, when that's not true. That's not true at all, family. Egypt, research the Emerald Tablets. The Emerald Tablets is a real thing, family. The knowledge came from the Atlanteans. And then the knowledge came from some people before the Atlanteans, probably the reptilians or those people, right? Because understand, family, the creator is like a child. The creator, we were not the creator's first creation. Remember, this goes back to the Marvel movie. I spoke about it before. What's his name? The wizard who wears the cape in Marvel. Hold on, let me, and I know I'm yelling, let me stop. But anyway, what's his name? What's the wizard name in Marvel? Doctor Strange, right? So remember in the last Doctor Strange movie, and it showed him going to the different universes. And remember, one of the universes, he was a bubble creature, right? The Most High, the Creator, the Most High Creator. One of the Most High Creator's first avatars could have been a bubble. And then on top of that, there's a movie called Everything Everywhere at Once, right? And she went to different universes. And if some of y'all seen that, it's with Miss Yo. I forget her name. Matter of fact, let me. And we've talked about this movie before. Like I said, the truth is everywhere, family. You just have to do the reading and studying to understand what these movies are showing you. It's a movie called Everything Everywhere All at Once. And the main actor is Michelle Yeoh, right? And in one of the scenes with Miss Michelle Yeoh, in one of the universes, they were people who had really long fingers. They weren't human. I mean, I guess maybe in their world they call themselves human, but in our world we wouldn't call them human because the way they look, their fingers. But nonetheless, what I'm saying is, we're not the first creation of the Most High. The Most High has many different creations of avatars, whether you want to believe it or not. And they are all gods because they have souls. Just like in the first scene of the Eternals, that seed family, the whatever his name is, I forget, but in the Eternals, the big red robot man, like I said, he is representation of the Most High Creator. In the seed that came out of him, he was representation of the tree of life. Because the Most High Creator is the tree of life. The Most High Creator created all life. And that seed is representation of the Most High Creator taking pieces of the Most High Creator's soul and putting into, you saw all the different Eternals sitting around the robot dude, right? Inside the spaceship before they came online. And the seed came off. Man, there was a scene in the movie, I can't remember where it is. It might be a deleted scene, or it might just be in one of the previews, but basically it showed the seed actually coming down the plant and going into all the bodies. I might be having a Mandela effect moment, because I promise you, I remember the scene actually being, not that the seed came out, but it was more like an energy that they showed coming down the tree, or down the red man, right? The robot, and it spread and went to each one of the eternal bodies. In other words, representation of the Holy Spirit putting itself in these avatars, the breath of life, giving these avatars life. These avatars who are gods, right? So let me go back to, let's go back to Mendu Neter. So it means words of nature. Nature being all the infinite forms, all the infinite. All the things that, hold on, let's see what's infinite mean, family. Wait, did I put infinite on here? Oh yeah, I did. So infinite means what? Limitless, endless, in space. Unbounded, boundless, unlimited, limitless, without limits. You know what's without limit, family? The Most High Creator. The Spirit of the Most High does not die. It is eternal, infinite. It says its name is reflected. Okay, it says words of nature, nature being all the infinite forms. Mendu Neter is the first form of the word God. Before the word God was invented, right? Its name, and it once again, it being all infinite forms of existence, the Holy Spirit. It's talking about us. Our spirit, not the avatar, our spirit within us, right? But let's go back to, once again, let's go back here. It means, these are all the earliest forms of the word God. Good, Goth, Koda, Kuda, Huda, Kata, Gad, Gudu. And remember, family, I was telling y'all, good does not mean righteous. Good does not mean ethical. Good, once again, as I've told y'all, as I was explaining to you guys last time. Hold on, where's my good is like another way of saying, or good is a sense of that you are useful enough to be used to carry out the Most High Creator's desires, which is to experience life through your avatars by way of your spiritual connection or your spiritual biological connection with the Most High, which you have with the Most High spiritually. You are related to the Most High Creator biologically through your spirit within you, right? But good, or God, or go back to the term, what does it say? God is good, right? God is good. Or good's another way, another term. And okay, look at this goo, right? What is the meaning of goo? Giver, life cycle, breast milk, semen, rain, sun rays, pituitary gland, pineal gland, milk, libation, sound, breath, hormones, food, are all examples of things used to create life, things to experience life, things that bring joy in life, things that help you survive in this realm, things that are needed for creation. Especially the breast milk is needed to give the mother's child immunity to diseases, to give the child its strength. The sun rays give energy. The father's semen, rain, helps the plants grow for the food. Pituitary gland, pineal gland, right? These all have to do with pituitary gland. I forget what that is, but the pineal gland, within your brain, right? That's where a lot of your wisdom comes from. A lot of your spiritual insight. Milk, libations, brings joy. Pouring of liquor, drinks, right? Sound, to hear the earth, to hear the vibrations of the universe. Breath, the breath of life. Hormones, emotions, so you can feel things. Food, which keep your avatar going, right? Good, matter of fact, let's once again, good. The word good is not synonymous with, look, the words you're looking for when it comes to good, when people say, oh, I'm a good person, no. It's, what we've been wrong is this, like words like righteous, virtuous, upright, upstanding, decent, worthy, ethical. Decent, conforming with generally accepted standards, respectable, right? Virtuous, righteous, good, moral, ethical. These are the words you're looking for instead of good. Moral, virtuous, righteous, upright, upstanding, high-minded. I know they have the word good, family. Once again, this is like I told y'all about that word church. The word church is a deception to have you thinking of, when you think of church, what do you think? You think of buildings. You don't think of the people within inside the building, which are the real church, the real assembly. You're thinking of a building that you have to pay rent on, so therefore you're sitting there thinking that a church is holy. Just like, remember when I told y'all about David? We went to the Bible verse where the Most High told David, like, because David wanted to build a temple, and the Most High was like, man, don't you know that the earth is my footstool and the heavens is my throne? What do you think this building is going to do for me? And matter of fact, I didn't say it last time, and that's why, once again, family, hold on, before we get there, before I lose my track of mind. So yeah, like I was saying, church is a deception. Just like this word good. Goods. What is goods? Merchandise, wares. Family, what is good? Economics. Goods are items that satisfy human wants and needs, right? Goods are freight, cargo, haul. What are all these things, family? Goods are what? Food. Goods are things in life. Another way to understand goods, family. Goods are things in life that people need for survival. Like food, water, clothing, materials to make homes for shelter. These are goods, useful things for survival. Just like gods are goods. Goods, gods. We are gods. We are goods for the Most High. We are goods for the Most High to, what's the word? We are goods for the Most High to, what's the word? To pour His Spirit into in order to experience life in the matrix. Our souls are biological connections to the oversoul or the Most High Creator. So the Most High can walk on earth within us. Not specifically not the literal Most High. Like I was telling you before, Yahushua is God, and God said it. But God is not the creator. We are, just like Yahushua said, ye are all gods. God, let me say this again, family. Yahushua is the mouthpiece of the Most High Creator. But Yahushua is not the Most High Creator. Just like the Most High Creator told David that this temple, you think this temple, the earth is my footstool and the heavens are my throne. In other words, he's saying that you think this measly temple built by man's hands that can fit a few thousand people in is good enough for me? So you think that temple, the temple that can fit thousands of people in it, if that's not good enough for the Most High Spirit, you think a body, a measly body avatar is good enough for the Most High Spirit? You think a body of this size is good enough to encompass and hold all of the spirit and power of the Most High within it? Family, that's what it's saying. Remember, the temple, family, or the church is really representation of us. The temple, family, the desecration in the Bible, in Revelations, where it talks about the desecration of the temple, of the holy place, is talking about your body. Your body is the temple, right? So, but when the Most High in Psalms is speaking, well, not Psalm, but the Old Testament, or so-called Old Testament, when the Most High is talking to David and telling him that the earth is my footstool and the heavens is my throne, and you think that this temple you building is good enough to house me, he's talking about your body. He's referring to you, your avatar. Once again, Yahusha is not the creator. Yahusha is a God like the rest of us, but Yahushua is King God. Yahusha is chosen because Yahusha is the one who is prophesied to come, who is willing to give his own life in order to give us the truth, the wisdom of who we are. Because before, family, the elites, or the so-called elites, were hoarding all the true wisdom and knowledge to themselves and using this wisdom and knowledge to keep the people in slavery. But Yahusha was the one who came in order to give the true knowledge to the people, to feed us with the true bread of life, which is wisdom and understanding, so that we may rise and become the gods that we truly are, to understand that we are gods, so that we may gain eternal life and wisdom and knowledge and ascend. Right? This was Yahusha's job. This is not me taking away from Yahushua. Like I've said it before. Yahushua is my king. Yahushua is my king God. I don't care. Nobody said Yahushua is my master. I sit beneath the feet of my master. I will not sit here and try to tell nobody or want nobody to think that I'm putting myself over Yahusha. I'm not. Yahusha is my master. I'm not going to sit here and deny my master. But I'm giving you the words that my master gave me to teach you, to let you know. I am the Christos. I am the Christ, just like you are the Christ. The Christ is another word for the soul, the spirit of the Most High within you. I'm not one of the people, like you hear some people sit here and say, I am Jesus, I am the Christ. But they don't explain it to you. And you just be looking at them like crazy, like, did this Negro just sit here and say that he was Jesus or say that he was Yahushua? Oh, hell no, family. Once again, there's a separation between Yahushua and the Christ. The Christ is another word for your soul. So when the enemy took Zeus or Jesus or white Jesus, right, what it is the enemy could not control Yahushua, the avatar form of Yahushua, when Yahushua was on the earth, right? So what they did is, when Yahushua passed away, right, they tried to hijack the image of Yahushua's spirit, of Yahushua's Christos, his soul, and they put Jesus or white Jesus over his soul in order to trick y'all and put their image of what they wanted Yahushua to be. Because while Yahushua was here in the flesh, Yahushua was telling the truth. Yahushua was taking money out of their pockets and freeing people. And they knew they couldn't control that Yahushua. And they also wanted a certain people to not know who they were. So they had to change. So they hijacked the spirit of Yahushua, or the Christos of Yahushua, and called it the Jesus Christ. Or Jesus is another word for Zeus. Jesus. They turned Yahushua's, they hijacked the essence, the spirit of you, which they couldn't really hijack it because you can't steal Yahushua's spirit. But they understand that the Christos is just another word for your soul. And or And basically the Christos, Yahusha's soul, the essence, they hijacked the essence and put Jesus over it and presented their version of the soul before you, before everyone, right? To control us. I know that might be kind of confusing, but I'm trying to break down once again what's happening. I've explained this before. I'm just trying to explain it again. So, all right. So I want y'all to understand, God is good. Gods are goods, right? What's the word? Yeah. Gods are goods. We are goods to the Most High Creator. We are goods to the Most High Creator to be used, for the Most High Creator to be used in this earth, right? And once again, family, too, understand that there are different universes. Like the movie Inception. There are dreams inside of dreams inside of dreams. There are different universes, right? So, and this is why I told you guys before, when you can understand what I'm saying, this is another key to unlock the Bible, to understand what you're reading. Once again, go back to Exodus, right? No, to Genesis. When you see Adam walking in the garden, it says Adam was walking in the garden talking to God. Now that you know that there are many gods and understand, you have to ask yourself, well, what God is he talking to? And then that can take us back to the story of Enki and Enlil. And that story where it talks about Enki and Enlil actually creating the first Adam and Eve. But remember too, Adam and Eve family is also just Adam and Eve. Once again, like I told you, there are many different universes. So there are many different forms of Adam and Eve. Even today, Adam and Eve is still a story going on today. Because Adam and Eve is just a story of the feminine and the feminine and male aspects. Right? Whether it be in spirit, in action, or in literal male and female form. So Adam and Eve is also another word for it, or is also, what's the word? Dang, I hate when I forget the words. Is a example of society as well. And let me try to break this down for you. I haven't broken this down in a minute, and I should have wrote it down. But as you see, Adam and Eve is like a story of society and the mistakes we make until we learn, right? Like the infant stages of society. We're ignorant. We don't know what we're doing. We make mistakes until we learn what to do and we grow, right? And Adam and Eve is also a story of the literal atoms. Like when you what is they say your body's made of matter, and you break in the body, you break it down into, it's broken down into small molecules. And each of the molecules in your body is called what? An atom, right? And atoms, right? And break it down, right? The chemicals, right? The atoms, right? They all come together. The protons and everything, what? They all come together to form what? An atom. It's all talking about certain chemicals that come together to what? Create an atom. And then those atoms all come together to create us. So it's also, once again, Adam and Eve came together to create what? Life. So it's this is the story. Like I said, Adam and Eve isn't just Adam and Eve from the Bible. But there are multiple different Adam and Eve stories, family. So, like I said, understand, so when Adam was walking in the garden, it says talking to God, he could have literally been talking to Enki or Enlil. Or in another universe, Adam walking in the garden could have been Adam literally communing with the Most High Creator, going within and speaking to the Spirit of the Most High within itself. That's another Adam story in another universe, right? Or think about it like this. Take the story of Cain and Abel. Remember how after Cain killed Abel, right? It says that God cast Cain out and marked him. Well, let's go back. So, as a matter of fact, if you go to, and this in the Book of Mormon, the sealed portion is very good on explaining this. A lot of people, everyone can talk, everyone with a soul has the ability to speak with the Most High Creator. We don't need a mediator. But you have to train yourself to hear. It says that the Spirit of the Most High, or the voice of the Most High, is very small and quiet. And you have to train yourself to hear that Spirit. And you have to, it takes a lot of time. It takes faith. It takes a lot of prayer, fasting, all this stuff. So unless you put the work in to hear the voice, you're not going to hear that voice. So when I hear Cain, it says God was talking to Cain. For all you know, it wasn't actually God talking to Cain. It could have been Adam, because Adam is a god. Like, we are all gods. It could have been Adam talking to Cain. Or it could have been Enki or Enlil or some other person. It wasn't literally God, because, or it could have been literally the Most High Creator. Remember, there's a difference between God and the Most High Creator. The Most High Creator could have been talking to Cain. I don't know. Like I said, there's different universes. But in my opinion, now that I know, I don't think Cain was actually talking to the Most High Creator. Because if Cain is the type of person to murder his own brother, I don't think and you saw how he couldn't understand the sacrifice and the whole fact that he was getting jealous, which lets me know that Cain is one of the people, he's a very fleshly person. He's like a modern day atheist. He don't believe in the Most High like we do. So I don't believe Cain was able to develop that spiritual connection within him with the Most High Creator, where he could hear that still small voice of the Most High Creator. Otherwise, he wouldn't have killed Abel. So I don't believe Cain could talk to the Most High Creator. I believe when it says God, now I kind of feel like it was Adam. And when Adam says that he banished Abel, when he banished Cain from the garden, and it says he marked him. Remember, family, think about it today in TV, right? Let's say you watch a gangster movie, and like specifically on The Mob, right? When someone says the mob has marked someone with death, did they really mark the person? No. They put out a message. They put out a word and said, hey, go take this person out. We're putting a bounty on their head. They're marked for death. So Adam, God, could have put out a message to all the people, because remember, they knew everybody around at the time. Remember, the Bible says that Cain moved to the land of Nod, right? On the borders of the garden. So I'm pretty sure they're familiar with the people who lived around the land of Eden, right? Or wherever they lived. And Adam just put out a message, look, my son don't live here no more, but I'm letting you know he's still mine. And if you put your hands on him and hurt him, you're going to have to deal with me. So Adam marked Cain to let them know at the end of the day, look, if you hurt him, he's still under my protection. So don't go messing with my son. Or Enki and Enlil. Put the mark, not a literal mark, but basically told everybody around, you better not put your hands on my creation. So once again, family, I'm not saying this is the 100% truth, but I'm letting you know that this is possibly what was happening. And remember, there are different universes. There are different realities. So there are many different Adams, many different Eves, many different scenarios playing out in different universes all across the multiverse. We are not the only existing universe. There are many different universes. We are not the only existing dimension. Every day, family, there are different copies of you taking different steps and going in different directions in life. I walk out the door and go somewhere today, and I might choose to turn left. But another me in another dimension decided to turn right. Another me in another dimension decided to go forward. Another me in another dimension decided not to leave at all and stay in the house. So each direction is leading to a different outcome. And it's all happening right now. Everything, everywhere, all at once. The movie. Telling the story, family, this is what's happening. And I'm trying to explain this to y'all. I wanted to get deeper. I wanted to explain this. So understand that we are the goods of God. And now another thing, family. Hold on. What else was I told? I want to make sure I hit everything on the Eternals. So like I told y'all, the robot, whatever, I forget his name. But he was representation of the Most High Creator. And the Most High Creator is the tree of life, because all life comes from the Most High Creator. Also another thing, family. So, family, understand life. Okay, I want to put it like this, family. Another thing was on my mind this morning is men and women in our relationships. And understand, family, technology isn't bad, but in the wrong hands, technology can cause a lot of destruction. It could cause a lot of pain and dysfunction within our society if not used correctly. And in order to know what is really true and what is truly righteous and what is our purpose, remember, family, we are supposed to be used by the Most High to experience life. And these avatars aren't supposed to live forever that we're in. They're supposed to multiply. They're supposed to create more avatars for the Most High to implant more souls into this probationary period or into this earthly realm, into this physical realm. And right now, family, the enemy is causing the circle, is interrupting the circle of life. The enemy is interrupting the plan of the Creator, selfishly, by way of technology and the selfish desires of people. Right? Family, I need y'all to understand something. A lot of stuff, once again, we've been taught about heaven and hell, and especially with the movies and stuff growing up, and how we think angels look and what heaven's for. Family, it's all a lie. Family, when you truly, that true peace, that peace that we all think is heaven, right? You're not going to get that until you finally return to source, until you become the primordial waters yourself again. Because, family, the higher you raise up, or some people might say descend. In other words, the higher you go up in the spiritual realm, the closer you get to returning back to the Creator, the less emotional you become, family. The less feelings you have. Because, once I'll put it like this, anybody notice, those who have studied especially, that the deeper you get into esoteric things, right? The deeper you get in the spiritual, especially like when you get into things like Buddhism or meditation, one of the things these books speak about, they speak about letting everything go, that nothing is real, that you can only ascend until you're able to let go of the things of this world. Because the fact is, family, and this is a fact, I don't care what nobody says, none of this is real. We live in the Matrix. You have to let this go. Why? Because once you get back to the primordial waters, there is no man, there is no woman, there is no husband, there is no wife, there is no children. There is no love, there is no jealousy, there is no desire. There just is. It's just you being. It's just you existing as the primordial. It's just you existing. It's you being the Most High. Once you go back to the oversoul, once your soul literally goes back to merge with the soul of the Most High, and I mean technically you're already there. I mean, because we're in the mind of the Most High, so you never actually leave. But once you stop being an individual soul, I guess, or individual thought, and return back to the main soul, the oversoul, family, or in Star Wars, right? Star Trek. Anybody who is familiar with the show Star Trek, right? Remember Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and even in this new season, Picard, they brought them back, the changelings, right? They're people who are able to change their form to look like anything, right? I forget what do they call those shapeshifters, right? Well, they come from a planet where they all live in this big ocean, and they call it the Great Link. Once you return back to the Great Link, family, you become everything. The primordial waters, you become everything all at once. You don't need anyone or anything. You just are. And that's the true peace. That's the true joy, because you don't lack anything. You don't need anything. There's no pain. There's no suffering. You just are. But when the Creator wants to experience something, I like to say outside of itself, but really within itself, experience something other than just existing, because the Creator's like, I want to feel something. The Creator comes down here in the Matrix and deposits its soul into avatars to experience life. This is the truth, family. I'm giving you the keys to understanding that's the heaven. The heaven ain't, look, and like I said, I'm trying to talk about the females, the relationship. Look, y'all sitting here thinking about, look, I'm going to the kingdom, I'm going to heaven, and we about to be singing Kumbaya all day. Family, that's a lie. Look, I'm not saying it's a lie as in that could never happen. But family, what I'm saying is, I'll put it like this. Even Yahushua, even the gods, even the spiritual beings one day, look family, death is just in the beginning. Death is just graduation to another form. So even once you cross over to the spiritual realm, family, you will die again. You're not going to live forever. You're not meant to live forever in one form. You eventually will return to the Great Link or the primordial waters. You will eventually return to the Most High Creator's spirit. And you will no longer be an individual. You will be a part of the Most High again. So maybe after you leave here, if you want to, that's what your mind keeps saying, maybe you will go to this place where it's all white and people got wings and they wearing togas and they playing harps and you just want to sing all day. Yeah, sure. I'm not going to sit here and say that's impossible. But understand, family, it's like Inception. Once you leave here, you go into another dream state. We go into a dream, inside of a dream, into another dream, into another dream. We just go to different existences, different universes to learn another lesson, to go through another state. And the higher you go up, family, the less you need. The higher you go up or the lower you go down, the more you shed. The more you shed the desires of the wants and needs of food, of sex, to have children, to have a husband, to have a wife. The higher up you ascend or the lower you descend, like I said, hey, there's two ways. I'm pretty sure you go up or down. Man, it's crazy. Like I said, everything is in the mind, so I'm not taking nothing away. Everything's up for grabs. Anything is possible. But I need y'all to know, at the end though, you return to everything. You return to the primordial waters, right? So this is what I need my male and females to understand. Especially my star seeds and my Hebrew people. When we leave and we go to where we going, I want y'all to understand what you're gonna be doing. Women, you're gonna be cooking, you're gonna be cleaning, you're gonna be having children. Yeah, you're gonna be worshiping the Most High, of course. But understand, your job is to have children to bring more avatars into this world, because the Most High is going to restore the circle of life. And men, you're not going to be out here hoeing around. You're not going to be out here killing. You're not going to be out here being selfish. You're going to be out there tilling that field. Going back to Genesis time, this is what the Most High has to do. Go back to that movie. What is that movie? The Day the Earth Stood Still. What happened? They took all the power away. They had to take everything away from us to make us restart. Otherwise, we would have destroyed ourselves because we're too selfish now. Family, I'm going to tell you right now, there's another flood coming, whether it be in water form or fire form, whatever. A lot of people are going to be destroyed because we've gone too far, family. People are so unhappy now. But it's because we've left the plan of the Most High Creator. And because people are so selfish and we've lived so long. Remember, go back to the time of Noah. Remember, why do you think the Most High sent the flood then? Because people had lived in sin so long, or lived, or not even, I'm not even going to say sin, but they lived according to their own desires, whether it was right or wrong, so long, family, that they couldn't change. So the Most High had to send in the flood to destroy them. Family, America has become Sodom and Gomorrah. And I'm going to tell you right now, family, if the Most High lets China and Russia come in here and go to war with America, I promise you America's going to lose and be destroyed. Because America is now Sodom and Gomorrah. And don't get me wrong, that's not me taking China and Russia's side. Because look, if China and Russia don't change up, let's say they go to war with America and win and destroy America, wipe it off the map, right? If the Most High allows them. Sodom and Gomorrah in a few generations can end up just like America too. If they don't change their way, because America has become a cancer to the rest of the world. They have infected the other countries with our sick-mindedness, with the way we live. Like now we live in a country, family, where I'm gonna be honest, family. All these single men who aren't able to find a wife, who aren't able to fulfill the Most High's plan of having children, because of the sickness that the elites have caused to come over us by controlling us with technology and their will. Family, and another thing too, ladies, whether you like it or not, when you go to the bosom of Abraham, when you go to Zion, the New Jerusalem, some men are going to have more than one wife. And it's not against the Most High's word. Now, here's the difference. We going back to Adam and Eve in the garden ways. A man has more wives because he's able to feed them. Not by man's way because he got money or because he got game or because he in the beast system. No. And once again, the Most High picks and says what men are worthy to have multiple wives. And it's not like 100s like David. It's like a few. You might have 2, 3, 4. And not every man. Some men, like I said, some men will be fine with one, depending on what, because they'll have other jobs. Most men are going to be tilling the ground. But you will have those men who are going to be holy priests too, who are going to be teaching. Which means they'll be living off the food that is going back to the people, bringing back food to the temple to feed the priests while the priests teach the people. This is what we going back to, family. So the priests are probably most likely are only going to have one wife, maybe two. But the majority, you know what I'm saying? And then some men, like I said, even husbands, most of the men who are going to have most of the wives are going to be the men who are tilling the ground. Because they're going to be given wives because they're going to be able to feed these women. Because your avatar needs food to survive. It's not just going to be off of because you look bad and sexy. No, it's because it's going to be off of one, the man shown that he's responsible enough to take care of her and take care of a wife and children. But two, dang, I lost my train of thought. But that's what we going back to, family. Y'all can fight it and groan, but I promise you, if you can't accept it, you could be destroyed right with the flood. Because now we live in a world where most men have been deemed to not be eligible for a wife, and have been deemed to not be good enough to have a wife. Remember, useful. And it's not that they're not, family, because the reason why most of these men have been deemed not good enough for a wife is because they're not tall enough, because they don't have game, because they not able to buy a freaking BMW or have a woman sit. Women are addicted to luxury today. And the crazy thing is, and a lot of my sisters watching it, look, and I'm not even, and those women who are truly in the Most High and change, I'm not talking to you. But for the worldly women who watch this, I want y'all to know, a lot of y'all have truly missing out on truly righteous men. Like when y'all be listening to these high value men shows, these red pills, they talk about all men don't cheat. All men will not cheat because it's not possible for all men. A lot of men really will be happy with one life and being faithful. But you keep passing them over because you didn't let Tom, Dick, and Harry, Chad, Tyrone, and them come run you through and imprint on you. And now the man who should have been your mate is no longer good enough to you because he not tall enough. Because you keep talking about he not handsome. And you know what's funny? Most of the women, like legit, like y'all tripping. Like y'all out here talking about, I deserve, all y'all don't deserve a millionaire. Like y'all not as bad as you think you are. You owe 5s and 4s and 3s and even 6s. Like this is what I'm saying. Like this a lot of these makeup and extensions we got y'all tripping. Got y'all thinking that you better than what you really are. Look, I'm not sitting here trying to look. At the end of the day, we all equal for the Most High. But we being honest. A lot of you so-called baddies out here need. And this go for women of all race, so-called black, white, Asian, Hispanic. Like, y'all not as bad as you think you are. Come out the shower with no makeup and all your extensions. I promise you, you're going to be busted. Some of y'all look like men. Some of y'all got mustaches. Why you sitting here talking and judging, talking about this man ain't good enough for me? Talking about I need a man to be a man. Woman, you don't look like Sarai, do you? You don't look like Abraham White. Abraham, she was bad. If you ain't Sarai, you need to go get you a husband that's right for you. And look, and that's not getting on this thing talking about only a woman who's considered 10 could be. That's not what I'm saying either. But I'm saying like there's been such an imbalance that the flood has to come because people selfish. It's not gonna fix itself. Everybody too busy trying to get over on each other. So the flood, a lot of people, and this goes for men too. I'm not just talking about the women, but I'm talking about, like, for instance, these so-called high-value men. Every time these so-called high-value men, these so-called white-collar men out here sleeping with women, what they do is they, once again, they take another woman off the market. They take another woman away from a man who was truly meant for her. Because now you didn't depend on her and you never meant to take care of her. And you know what's crazy? These so-called high-value men, they wouldn't be high value if it wasn't for the so-called average man or the blue-collar man. Because most of these high-value men, what? They work in businesses that provide a product. And a lot of times these products are not things that are needed, family, for survival. So in the grand scheme of things, they're not important. They're really just in the way. They're really just causing undue harm to society. But these products that these men are selling, whether you're selling cars, even the suits these so-called high-value men, the houses these so-called high-value men live in, the cars these so-called high-value men live in, are made by who? The so-called average man who's been put at the bottom, who's been disrespected. The real righteous men. The real men who are worthy, who should be having wives and children, who can no longer do it because the world has gone to crap. But best believe, men and women, for all the hoes and hoe men and hoe women out there, best believe a lot of y'all going to be destroyed, and those who are ready to go, when we go back to the kingdom, we going back to the basics. I want y'all to know this now. Ain't going to be no more of this high-value woman, high-value man garbage, this red pill, all this. We going straight back to Adam and Eve. The Most High is going to create a situation, and y'all, and some of y'all sounding mad. Look, matter of fact, you sound mad, you're going to be destroyed anyway. I ain't worried about you. But for those who ready to go back, and you might have doubts, well, I don't know if, guess what? The Most High going to create a situation where you're going to be happy. Even if your husband has 2, 3 other wives, or just 2. Or some of y'all, you will be with a man who just has 1. Matter of fact, once again, the man who are probably most likely going to have 1 wife are going to be the priest. Because they're going to have to spend more time in the word. So, but know that the Most High is going to put that joy in your heart. This is that true love. That this fake worldly love is just off of, which is off of messed up desires, selfish desires. As elders say, you'll grow to love them. In other words, you'll grow to get joy out of that husband. You'll grow to get joy out of that wife. Once you understand how things are supposed to work, how the true family system is supposed to work. Family, that flood is coming. That fire is coming. It has to. We're too far gone. This is Sodom and Gomorrah. It's going to be destroyed. Period. Because the Most High has to set things back. There's too many single men. There's going to be more wars and contention because there's too many sad men out here because they can't find a woman. They can't find a wife. They can't be fruitful and multiply because the enemy got the women all messed up. Every time the enemy touches the women, you got to look. You got all these so-called high-value men out here. Like one show talk about a man should sleep with 500 women before he get married. So you should run through 500 women who you don't plan on marrying or taking care of. And messing them head. And another thing, all you men looking up to these so-called high-value men, they not your friends. They not your leaders. Because while you sitting there praising these men like they gods, they sleeping with the women, taking more women away from you and making it harder for you to find a wife. One of these high-value men who sleep with 500 men, who sleep with 500 women, guess what? That's 500 women that are off the market now, who are no longer good enough for you, a so-called average man. Because now every time they look at you, they messed up in the head. Because they stuck on this tall dude, this 6 foot tall, whatever you call it, who not even in her life no more. So every man now who she get with, she can't be with him and be happy because she keep comparing them all to this nigga who done left her. And now you are no longer good enough. So stop worshiping these red pill men. Women, stop worshiping these Cardi B's and all these, they destroying your mind, your spirit. But guess what? You don't got to listen to me. Just like y'all didn't listen to Noah back in the day. It's going to be just like I said, just like in the days of Noah, it's going to be again. The flood coming, family. Sodom and Gomorrah are going to be destroyed. It is what it is, family. It's coming. And whether you like it or not, it's coming. And like I said, for those who are willing to accept this, don't worry. The Most High, once you get to where you're going, it's going to change. It's going to give you the right spirit and acceptance of it. You're going to have joy. Don't worry. Once you see how things are really supposed to be, you're going to be fine. But anyway, family, I'm going to let y'all go. I enjoyed y'all. Hope you enjoyed it. Me. I'm a healthy, wise, strong, protected, celestial being that is loved by the Most High Creator. I enjoyed you, family. Be blessed. Shalom. We're going to talk some more later.